Riders, fans, the Red Bull Straight Rhythm is over with, and I commend Red Bull. They were WFO 9th gear pinned in the whole event. From the bathrooms to the food to the track. It was a show, it was a production, it was entertainment. There was 30,000 people there. It was awesome to see. They actually had to stop selling tickets. It was nuts. I want to see this continue to grow. They did a good job, so hats off, Red Bull. But now I'm going to tell you a story about forgiveness rather than permission. So I drove 8 hours. I show up there. I looked official. I had a camera and my backpack. You know, I look like a media guy, right? So I just walk on in. I start filming the track. I didn't have credentials. I got caught by the security guards. They told me I had to get out of Dodge. So I was like, okay, but I'm actually here for the privateers. So on my way out, I stopped to talk to a couple privateers. Actually, this is where I got the Stank Dog t-shirt to help support some gas money, and congratulations to him proposing. You know, I wish them a long and happy life. And I hope he does well in this upcoming Supercross and motocross season, whatever Stank Dog decides to do. But I'm digressing. So anyway, security guards caught up to me and they're like, dude, you really need to get out of here. So they pointed me in the direction of the credentials. I knew I didn't have credentials. So this is where I'm going to teach you a life lesson about persuasion, right? It's something I learned in sales school. You need to talk to people by their name. Their name is the most sacred thing that they own. And you need to compliment them. You need to be nice to them. You want to win them onto your side. So how do you do that? Well, you got to compliment them. And then you have to give them a reason why they should help you. Mine was simply, hey, I missed the deadline to get credentials. I'm sorry. Is there any way you could help me? That helps 10x the result. If you don't have a reason, people don't want to help you. If you just cut in line to somebody and you don't give them a reason, they're going to be mad at you. But if you say, hey, I'm running late, as simple as that, people are more inclined to help you if you give them a reason, even if it's a stupid one, right? So I was able to get a press pass. Danielle, you know, love you. Thank you for giving me a press pass. I believe that I add something to this sport as far as content goes. I add value. I would really enjoy adding a spin on how we consume content in Supercross. I just need to get a press pass, right? And we'll see if Supercross and Feld will give something like that to me, you know, because I personally, I don't think that my content is distasteful whatsoever. You know, again, I'm here to build a privateers. You guys are behind money. You have everything planned. I get it, right? I'm not trying to steal any money from anybody or paint a dark cloud over stuff. I'm for innovation and I want to grow the sport. Plain and simple. That's why you should subscribe to this channel. So, got the media pass. You can see in some of the contents and the interviews, you know, forgive the camera. I'm not the best. I need like a gimbal or something, but I digress. Talking about the actual event, the two-strokes are not designed to race a Supercross track like that. If you look at the mid-90s Supercross tracks, they didn't have that big of jumps or those big rhythms. You didn't have a quad. And speaking of that quad, Hanny, I really think if he would have went quad step over triple, he would have done a lot better, because that I felt was faster than going quad, double into the face of that thing. You have a whole lot of air time. And then the next thing I felt separated people was the tabletop. That tabletop, Kenny was able to scrub a bunch, and that helped him tremendously in his timing on everything, just like overall time. He was able to pass so many people by staying lower off some of the obstacles. It was a fun event, 40 seconds of just sheer raw entertainment. I rather enjoyed it. I know all of you guys enjoyed it. I would have liked to see a little bit more privateers do well, because with these two-strokes, there's no rules in place. So a factory bike versus a privateer bike, man, you can't tell what's under the hood. Is it a 300cc bike? You know, is it a 150? Is it big bore? Whatever. I could just say that those motorcycles are, you know, maybe a little bit more sound than what a privateer can run. Because give it up to somebody like Devin Raper, where they have an 06, 07 KX250 that they restored in order for the event. Man, and all the privateers that I talked to, they just bolted their 450 suspension onto these 250s, no testing involved, and just went for it. You know, the whoop section was kind of small. It would have been nice to see a longer whoop section. I think it would have separated some guys a little bit more, especially maybe the bikes that have a little bit more motor, is they could end up accelerating towards the end where, you know, a little 125s, they start peaking out, and then then you start kind of falling into them. That's where you see a lot of the supercross privateers struggle, where when you have a big set of whoops, they enter them good, but they don't have the torque to stay on top of them, so they end up kind of falling into them, and you see them end up kind of doubling out, where a factory bike can just da. And overall, I was happy to go. I'd want to go to some more. Good people around. Everybody was very cordial, and the atmosphere was just fun. The hooligan race was cool. That track was fairly small. I would have liked to see it a little bit longer, but other than that, I really have nothing to gripe about the event. Nobody got seriously injured. There was no spectacular crazy get-offs. That tabletop was incredibly scary. You know, TV doesn't do it justice how much of a wall it was, and it was incredibly steep on the downside. Everybody says tabletops are not that scary. Well, if there's a tabletop that is basically a 10-story building and you case it and you're bouncing to the floor, and on the floor is another set of obstacles, it's really scary, especially if you were to endo off of it. Most of the riders I talked to said that it took a little while in practice to get over that thing clearly, but we all saw Kenny throwing some massive whips on it. Dude, I look forward to seeing him in Supercross 2023, and I look forward to being a part of it. This is Johnny F. and Hopper. Till next time, keep it WFO, tuned to this channel. Bra da 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 da.